Okay, Akshay, please do Srimanta Deepakanandji will follow.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Sawa Sahunam.
Namo Loe Sawa Sahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Sauvapa Vappanasano.
Sauvapa Vappanasano.
Mangalanam Chasavesim.
Mangalanam Chasavesim.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Welcome everybody to the English version of Vitrag Vignan. Question answer. Meet will go with you first and then Kashyap.
Okay. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
So my question was that anything in the world that's good or bad, all of that is a relative concept, right?
Anything
good or bad in this world that humans like conceive to be good or bad, it's all relative, right?
Yeah. So
then how does nature determine what's good and what's bad? Because different people have different beliefs of what's good and what's bad. So then how do you get the effect of your karma in that way?
the result of every karma is you have to pass through suffering. So by any action, bodily action or speech or thought process, if that is negative, then the result of that projection, that happening, come back to you. So it is said very nicely, because what you say and what you do, others can see that very well. Although it is karmic result of what you say and what you do, that itself go as a cause in the nature and it gives you back. And that happens in the same life. So it is said, although what you say and what you do are physical karmic effects, but they in turn become cause for you to get the result of those happening in the same life. It is called physical karma.
Oh.
Like how we hit the ball on the wall, the wall rebounds it back.
Yeah.
So it is something like that. So although my action of hitting on the wall is a result, but the result itself acts as a cause and rebounds it back. And that's how what you do good in this life, physically, what I mean, through your behavior and verbal actions, verbal usage, then you get it in the same life. They are called physical karma. And those that goes in your mind. And at the level of your mind, you endorse certain thing to do. And if that is such that it is going to hurt someone, then it results into causing bad deeds. That is pap. It is called pap karma. And those thoughts wherein you project others to give happiness, then that acts as good deeds, and that is going to give you happiness in return, but in the coming lives.
Mhm.
But not in this life. But although, I mean, those thoughts that culminate into verbal expression or behavior, the result of that, you get it in the same life. So, for example, your professor tells you something and you're not very happy. So outside you dramatize the situation and you deal very nicely, but inside you get negative thoughts. So since you dealt nicely, the result of that is going to come positive to you in this life. But whatever that negative thing that went into your mind, that is going to result into negativities in future life. Because the one that goes in your mind, they are called subtle karma. Everything we do, everything that happens, results, although that is an effect, it becomes causes for it to happen. So, if you do anything good, you speak nicely, it's fine. So it's going to give you positive results. So practically you don't have to do anything for that. But it so happens that you do something negative. Someone gets hurt through your speech or through your action. And inside you feel bad about it. Because whatever we do, that endorsement comes from inside only. So your mind is already negative. That's why you end up into negative behavior, hurtful behavior, or hurtful verbal expression. So you will get the result in the same life. But inside, you felt bad. Oh, that was wrong, I did. I should not have done that. I'm very sorry. Oh, Dada Bhagwan, I will not do it again. Then you change your projection. So at the subtle level, at the mind level, you are positive. Although karmic effect at the bodily level and speech level was negative. So you will get the negative result of those expressions. But future, you have corrected by correcting at the mind level. So this is how things happen.
The one thing I didn't understand is that, you said that even in the result, it can be a cause, like the physical part.
The after effect, that's why I gave you that example. Someone hits the ball on the wall. That first action of hitting on the wall is a karmic effect. But the after effect of that, it rebounds back. So that results into a cause which rebounds it back. For example, just as an example, you don't like food at home. So probably you will eat outside. And outside, understand that they don't care about the quality or what stuff they use.
Yeah.
So you not eating at home and eating outside is because of your belief. And that belief is because of the karmic effect that food at home is no good. They don't taste good. But you eat food outside, it's tasteful. Oh, who cares about the quality? It's fine. So now the result of that belief as karmic effect will make you eat outside.
Yeah.
And when that bad stuff goes into your tummy, it makes you ill. That is effect of what you have eaten outside.
Yeah.
So that is called, that effect of eating outside becomes cause for your bad tummy.
Okay.
So now further, because of the bad tummy, you go to the doctor, doctor gives you some medicine, strong antibiotics, and of course he takes care of other stuff, like he gives to compensate for the strong antibiotic, the doctor gives you some antacid also. But still your body responds negatively and it causes severe acidity and you get into more trouble.
Mm-hmm.
While getting rid of the acidity, correcting the food poisoning, you get into acidity, maybe ulcer or something. I'm just giving a very wild example, but this is very common.
Mm-hmm.
And to treat the ulcer and other thing, some other organ gets damaged.
Yeah.
So it has multiple effects. So effect has its actual cause and it gives further effects. Did you get?
But aren't those effects already like...
Root cause is there is no problem eating outside, but that resulted into all these multiple effects. You're saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that like all those effects that you were saying, like you get ulcer, like you get like the acidity inside. Isn't that already an effect from the past causes?
No, but what was the root cause? Why did it happen? It happened because of the medicine. Why did you have to take the medicine? Because of the food you ate. Why did you take the food? Because of your belief that food at home is no good. You understand? The first place you would not have eaten outside, 2, 3, 4 instances would not have come.
Right.
This is what we have to understand. So this is how there's a demarcation between physical karma that gives result in the same life and subtle karma, they give result in the future lives. And the time could be minimum 1 life and maximum, like Lord Mahavira case, so many million years back, he was a king and he had committed a mistake of punishing his bedside maid for not listening to him. We're not going into that story, but not following his orders, he punishes him by pouring boiling lead into his ears, which makes the person die. But while giving that punishment, he had no heed, no worries. He was so mad, he just punished him that how come you don't listen to my orders, don't follow my orders. But after he dies, he feels bad. Oh my God, this was something wrong I did. But that effect has already gone.
Yeah.
So the result of that comes when he becomes Lord Mahavira after so many years. But that cause was there in the relative part. So the relative part, that is our mind, speech, body part, from gross as effect, new causes are generated in a subtle form, in the form of causal body. And that causal body results into gross body. And in that gross body, if that is a human form, then new causes are laid elsewhere. Like if you are born in angel as heaven, then that is only place where you discharge your karma, good positive karmas. If it is hellish, hell, then it is the negative karma. You can't charge new karma. That egoism aspect and intellect aspect is there only in the human form, not even in the animal form. So in the human form, that's how from gross to subtle, it goes on. But the same soul is there. Soul is same, but the one who lays or causes karma keep changing. That I doesn't remain the same. What I mean, you as meat, your identity and your belief that I am meat. So if I say something about Kush, then you believe, oh, he's talking about Kush, not me.
Yeah.
But if I say anything about meat, then you believe that I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
So it immediately starts affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, if you come to know that, oh, I was talking about some other meat in Chicago, not in Canada, then you will, oh, he's not talking about me. That's okay. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is where our connectivity is there. That is where that I portion. So if in the last life that I was, say, Magan Bhai, you like the name?
Yeah.
People may think, because these girls or women, certain names have the typical characteristic. Because most of the time in any drama or any serial or any movie, it's a typical name they use. So it's like if it is Champaben, then they know Champaben is always like keep gossiping around and bad lady like. But say Sumati Ben. Sumati Ben means one with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
The name itself suggests, indicates, then that's a different thing. So just for idea, so if Magan Bhai did something in the last life as I, on this gross body, which was caused by him, now it resulted into meat, and your name is given as meat, and you as I am meat, you are living. Do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is said, Dada's revelation, wonderful revelation is that I that causes karma is different from I that suffers the karmic effect. Did you understand? I, as Magan Bhai, caused meat, and now meat is the one who experiences or faces the results of Magan Bhai, who projected meat.
Only the name is different, right?
Name is different, but that makes all the difference. What is there in name we can say, but then that all matters. So if anybody is talking about meat, then your antennas are always trying to find out who said that, who uttered my name, who can dare to say my name. You know, certain time we talk like that.
Yeah.
Nobody should utter my name. It's an ego.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how. So when you understand this, so this body, what you have got as meat, when you realize that you're not meat, your identity, your true identity through self-realization, then you get separated out from meat. And that's how your inner journey starts.
Yeah.
Once that separation occurs. So this is the whole story of our life science, which Dada Bhagwan revealed so nicely.
So, Deepakanandji, something stopped when Meet said this is all relative. So, yeah, you're right. Everything is relative. So, the purpose of life is to find the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's true. But it is relative happening and relative stuff that keep bothering you because you are unaware of your real ID.
Yeah.
So once you get that realization that you are a real, perpetual soul entity, S-O-U-L, soul entity, and not the physical, relative, temporary entity, then the whole journey changes. Otherwise, from gross to subtle, it keeps happening. But the same soul is attached or connected with that body.
Mm-hmm.
It changes from subtle to gross, gross to subtle, from subtle to gross, again gross to subtle, and that's how it goes on. Until when you get realization in you spend the whole life in such a way that you do not cause new karma and you get away with all the past karmas. So then what happens? There is no causal body for you to be born again. And the result of that is when that life, in that life you pass away, then that is not called death, but it is called Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
Nirvana means now you're not going to wander into other lives or other life forms, but you get liberated. It is not the soul get liberated, because although the soul was hanging around with you, but it is not the soul, because that soul inside you is still in that liberated state, because it doesn't experience bondage at all. It is the relative I that experiences bondage. And it is that relative I, when it believes that I am pure soul, gets his real identity, frees himself from the relative identity, and gets away with all the karma, then the story ends. And that life, when the story ends, you attain Nirvana. So it is you who get liberated. But now that soul, normally what happens when someone passes away, then the physical body, the effective body, the karmic body that gave result in this life remains there. And then people dispose that body depending on their belief. Someone may put in the water, someone may give to the birds or animals, someone may, bury them, or someone may fire them, burn them.
Yeah.
It only depends. But then that body gets disposed. But what leaves from that body is the soul, the causal body, and it is called the subtle body. The subtle body is responsible for the movement, but the causes are in that causal body. And depending on the nature of the causes, that subtle body moves that in the subtle form. So these three entities, they leave the body. And that's how you get born in heaven or hell or animal plant, or again back to humanity, human form. And it is said that with this realization, what happens, all the lower forms, they stop, because you stop worrying and you stop hurting others. Mm-hmm. So what it means, you stop hurting yourself and you stop hurting others. And the outcome of that kind of life is you come to human form, or you are born in the heaven. That too, higher form of angels. Mm-hmm. Until you get liberated. The lower form naturally close, because they are result of negative projections, which they stop when you are realized, when you get realized. So it is interesting how physics, chemistry, biology, math, social science, everything, mass media, whatever you say in IT, computer science, and all those subjects are interesting. That's fine, that will fetch you good money and all that. But to have a good life, you must have this science, life science. This is so nicely revealed by Dada Bhagwan. And he doesn't. Yes.
You mentioned about the relative self, so the relative I. So I was trying to say that how did that develop in the first place? Because in the beginning, the soul was by itself.
Wonderful, wonderful. Just imagine you're born and you are put in the cradle. So what happens? Everyone come to know. I mean, everyone who comes to know your relative and who knows your mother and father, so they come to see you.
Yeah.
And of course, they'll come to you. And what is the most typical question they will ask?
What's the name?
What's that name? And they will gladly say, oh, my son's name is Meat. What a wonderful name. And they start calling you by that name. What is your response?
Nothing.
How would you respond? Like, you don't know, some people are coming to me and they are just shouting at me, meat, meat, meat. Just trying to analyze.
Yeah.
So now anyone and everyone who come to you and they just bombard you with these words. So for you, it is not a word also. It is just some funny sound. They are repetitively telling you, shooting at you. So gradually you develop that belief, not consciously, but unconsciously. That me means I'm connected with that sound, with that word, and finally it becomes your name. You come to know when you grow. Gradually, as you are growing older, everyone who comes to you call you by this name. And you see others also, oh, I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm your brother, and so on. I'm your uncle, auntie, neighbor, and all that. So when you are called by me, then you also start talking. Then, what is your name, uncle? So that's how you develop that ego.
But
And
that's only in,
yeah.
That was only in like this birth, right? I'm talking about like from the beginning, like.
What do you call as beginning? Let us understand that. What do you call as beginning?
Like, I'm not sure, like from the beginning, like before our first birth, let's say.
What is that first birth? That's why, if you no. I mean, if you have studied biology and evolution of life, then they have narrated very nicely how from one cell the journey begins. Then actually, as you live several lives, millions of lives, we have passed through from one cell, and that is having one sense of touch only. That you grow, you evolve from one sense to two sense, then second sense is taste. First is touch, taste, then scent, then sight, and then finally the ear. And humans are all five sense being. And the best part is, after you come to human form, then other forms you go, but you again come back to the human form. The maximum number of lives which you go out from human form is 8 only. At the end of the 8th life, you come back to human form. That is maximum. Otherwise, only one life. Minimum 1 life, maximum 8 lives. But then it depends on the projected karma. So it's like 8 different plates you can earn in human form through your projection. And depending on the, projections and timing, you are born. So it's like, first you are born as angel, and then the next set of karma takes you to animal, and then from animal you may go to hell, and then from hell you can again come to heaven. So this combination, maximum 8, and at the end of 8 you come back to human form. That is the wonder or miracle of human form. And once that human form is acquired, it comes again and again and again till you get liberated. But in that process, in that whole journey, you can go to any other life form.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is how you travel. Egoism is only there in human form, which can cause new karma. Other places egoism is there, but it is only egoism of suffering.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot cause. Okay, so they pass through suffering.
What's the need of all that though? Like why do we need that?
What the need of?
Like before, when we weren't a human, we're like another life form with like lower senses, right? And then when we come to human form, we get the ego. Why do we need that ego after? Like, what's the point of all this evolution?
It is like your faculty of mind and your faculty of intellect, they are highly developed in human form. So ego that is there, it becomes of that level wherein it starts projecting. So start causing. So that's how from childhood you develop that ego. I am meat. My name is meat, and you start saying, I am meat. Because all people around surrounding you who interact with you, they also live like that. That's how you learn from them. Had it been like you come across only enlightened people, it's like this is how you're born in a family where they're all enlightened, there is a totally different kind of exposure you get. And like from very beginning, you say, hey, Dada Bhagwan, do this, don't do this, and all that stuff, you're learning naturally. So it's like you are getting molded almost like a realized person.
Mm-hmm.
And you are compelled, you have force, because that is there in their vision, and that's how you get blessed by that vision, and you grow. And that is also part of your past karma, that you are born in a family who are all realized, self-realized. So that's how, that's how you develop that ego. And having come across such enlightened people around you, surrounding you, interacting with you, your ego further gets molded in a very positive way. Certain negative aspects, it just doesn't come to you at all. Although you come across, but you don't support that.
Yeah.
That is that. So that is all about this inner science of life, wherein we project and we give birth to ourselves, and that's how we continue and we wander. But once self-realize that projection changes, projection stops, and you get liberated.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful science. You understand every happening, and every happening gets justified also. No ambiguity, no puzzle, and life is 1 + 1 = 2. Absolutely clear. The way the outer science, worldly science, have justification for everything that happens, in the same way, everything that happens in our living form, whatever you see around and what you see within yourself, you get justification, you have answer to that. And that's why you're always happy and cheerful, because you know. It's like any subject. Which subject you are good at?
All of them.
All of them, wonderful. So just name one.
Math.
Okay. So anything that is mathematics, for you, you would never have any problem. So it's like you are so good at it, it doesn't remain a problem for you, because you have solution. In the same way, whatever we come across in our life, that happens as a part of karmic effect. And if you have that wisdom of right understanding, and with that wisdom, you are always at ease, because you know what is to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And at best, you know that you don't want to hurt anyone. And by chance, if you end up thinking negatively or speaking negatively or behaving negatively, you always correct yourself.
Yeah.
So that's how you're always happy. And when you're not doing something wrong, and if you're doing wrong, you're correcting yourself. So the net credit, what you have left with you, is all positive only. Negative, you're getting rid of it by correcting yourself. That's how it helps. And that is human form. And one who believes in rebirth, they are blessed with this science. So for them, it becomes easier. Others can understand, but the basic idea and basic concept and rather principle of life is reincarnation, because that is principle. It's not belief. It is taken as belief, but it is principle of life. That evolution itself means principle because of your past, that present is there. And based on what you do in the present, your future will be there. That's it.
Okay.
I had another question. So, like people like outside in the world, like they don't know all these like principles and like all this science, right? So how is it fair for them? Like they don't know that if I do this, it's bad. And if I do this, I'll get punya or whatever. So then for them, it's just like, they just think they'll live once and that's it. So.
No, it's not like that. See, For example, like there are people who have opportunity to study and reach a level of intellect wherein they can have good job and they have good earning and they have good life, good worldly life, we can say. But how is that they are born in that family where they have this opportunity, where they have that faculties also, intelligence, everything, and they end up studying good, they get good job, and that's it. In the same way, it's a process, like how you are in the kindergarten, then you are going to first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. It's a progression, step by step. That is the process of life. So you or we all were there in that state, but now we are evolved, and that's how we have come across this wisdom of right living. They will also come across this thing now or in future, but it's a process. Like how water that begins at the top of the hill, the top of the mountain, the finality is the ocean. And until it reaches ocean, it keeps moving. In the same way, from one sense organism or one sense living form, it becomes grosser and grosser, and in the 4 life forms, it moves around, wanders, and the finality is liberation. That is moksha, that is nirvana. It's a journey. And in the journey, you pass through what not. I mean, you pass through all different stages. That's it. So they will also get that opportunity. We were also like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, mate. Wow, very good question, mate. Thank you. Kashyap bhai?
Jai Satchidanand to everyone. Jai Satchidanand. Deepakanandji, I sent you today WhatsApp one image of Divya Deshna. It says.
Let me get it out. 1 minute. Okay.
આપણને રાગ દ્વેષ થાય છે તો આપની ફાઇલ જ્યાં આસક્તિ છે તે બધી ફાઇલો. So here regarding the rag dvesh, it says about that what is rag dvesh is the attachment aversion is our file. So what we had discussed that before, that after for Mahatmas there is no rag dvesh, it's angamo gamo.
After what?
After Gyan there is no rag dvesh. We had discussed before
After that. What? After what you said, Parma?
After receiving this Gyan.
Gyan, after getting Gyan.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So we had discussed that rag dvesh is not there. Instead, there is like and dislike. But correct. Here in this Deshna, it is taking rag dvesh, and also, well, is little bit. I want to clarify that rag dvesh is here. What it means, rag dvesh, or it means like dislike?
No, when it is said rag and dvesh, then that rag and dvesh are called causal weaknesses. They cause new karma.
Deepakanandji, first thing, please explain in English the Divya Deshna and also what the rag and dvesh means in English.
Yeah. In fact, doctor did explain it. I'll explain it again. In our life situations, we have likes and dislikes, but not just likes and dislikes. We will say likes and dislikes, not just as a result, but in a causal form of rag and dvesh, because we are into that like and we are into that dislike. It is said that wherever, and of course, wherever when it is said that they are our file, they are our obligation, it means that these rag and dvesh are likes and dislikes only.
So rag is
Did you understand?
Rag is attachment and dvesh is aversion.
Right. So attachment and aversion, but since here it is talked about file,
Yeah.
it means it's talking of individuals who are self-realized.
Yes.
For them, although it is written as rag and dvesh, that is attachment and aversion, it is like and dislike only because it is discharge form.
So that is what I am asking. It is written rag dvesh, but attachment aversion, but in the literal sense, it is meaning.
Right. So it is. But see, because these are the words, they are picked from the conversation. So at times the clarification, but from the format of the sentence, you can come to know what we are talking about or what it is talking about. Correct?
Even in our conversation with Aptputras and Mahatmas and etc., both sides, they use rag dvesh word,
Correct. Correct.
So,
but then we have to understand.
Yeah, so that is what I'm
So
saying.
is it causal or is it discharging?
Yeah, it is causal or discharging.
Right.
But yeah, it is just what you say. It is used as instead of like and dislike, but it means like and dislike. That's what it is. Right.
Gradually, as that awareness grows, then the right word and right usage will come naturally. So if someone is talking about likes and dislikes only, then he will talk about likes and dislikes only. He will not talk about attachment and aversion. So it's like everyone is growing as that awareness, that alertness, that wisdom of knowledge is being used precisely, the words naturally change. But anyway, we will talk about that over here. So wherever we have likes and dislikes, they are our obligation.
In connection with this only, when there is likes and dislikes, you always, Aptputras always say that talk with the mind regarding likes and dislikes, talk with the mind, and so just want to know how you talk with the mind, your personal experience, this is what I want to learn. And,
yeah, first of all, like we have other Aptputras. So some Aptputras, there is a natural inclination of liking, and other Aptputras, there is a natural inclination of disliking. Yeah. That is possible because it is karmic effect.
Yeah.
It is not in anybody's hands.
Yeah.
But when we understand that, then so it's like this is the file with likes, and the other is the file with dislike. In both the cases, you will have to handle and deal with them amicably in a balanced way. Like
say in your mind,
yes,
in your mind there comes a thought that this is good, then how
not good, this is like type and this is like that.
For example, I give a example. Like say in your mind you see something or you hear something and thought comes that this is good. Okay, so now how do you talk with your mind that no, this is not good, this is not bad, this is, actually that from your knowledge, this realization, there is this is all relative. Now, how you talk with the mind that
the talking with your mind means you're talking with yourself actually.
So what you say with to your mind so that it gets convinced. This is
no, it's not the question of convincing, but you are trying to understand. Spontaneously, many things can happen and does happen. Spontaneously, you understand? Spontaneously, on the spur of the moment, things will come. So it's like the likes. Where that liking part is there. You always are comfortable, correct?
No, you,
But
you say no, that Aptputra say that you should guide the mind with the light of the Gyan, you know. So now that is what I'm asking, that light.
as well, let me finish, but
Okay.
so it's a liking type. So this individual is liking type, but then liking type is also not forever. Is only in certain aspect that liking part is there. But if I go too close, then that attack comes. Do you understand?
Yes.
It is not 100% liking type. But in most of the situation, you don't have any negative reaction against that person. Whereas others, most of the time you have the negative reaction. So that particular relation is of disliking type. Only certain conditional part is liking type from that individual. So in that case, gradually, we understand that this is the individual and this is my connectivity with him or her, so I better be careful. So in that whole process, my first reaction or first effort is to identify. Over a period of time, it gets identified whether this individual is liking type or disliking type, and that's how we deal. After all, liking type or disliking type, they both are file. In the sense, till that connectivity and situation is there, they'll be there. After that transaction of liking or disliking is over, you will not meet them again. So that's not a good story. When you come across, when you understand that, and if that happens, then naturally you don't feel good, all that good. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
But this is how you make yourself understand to deal with such relations. And
That's
gradually try to make the best. And what is our idea or measure of making it best is to settle the file, settle the relation, deal with that relation in a most amicable way.
What you're saying is when you put like and dislike both as file, then solution comes. That
Gradually it comes as file, but initially it is never like that. The liking individuals are always good. If you feel good, you always want to talk, you always want to be with them. And the disliking time, you don't want to be with them. So somehow, but because that wisdom of knowledge is working from inside, it keeps alerting, it keeps cautioning me that, hey, this is wrong. After all, you understand that this is file, this is a relation, an account that needs settlement. So, and this is disliking type, so you better be careful. Rather, if it is liking type, you have to be more careful.
okay.
So gradually the dealing comes and you deal in a most amicable way. It's a process. So it's like if you are trying to work for or compete for some game, then that's how you're practicing and finally you win the gold medal. Our gold medal is we settle with that file in a most amicable way and we separate out such that you're now never going to meet again. So that again sounds very bad. That's funny about it. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understood what you said.
But this is what, whoever we meet, the cause of that connectivity is our likes and dislikes only. Where we don't have likes or where we don't have dislike, we never meet, we never interact. Because there is no transaction left or no credit or debit in balance wherein you need settlement. We interact only because of the settlement. And when we have that in focus, then our whole approach changes and we are all the time positive. If we are not positive outside, inside, on the projection side, on our determination side, we are positive, very positive.
Yes,
That
got it.
no matter, I'm not able to settle this relation in an amicable way today, but I want it to handle it most amicably. Dada gave me that inner strength.
Thank
Right?
you. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand. Vidhi,
Jai Sachidanand Deepak Dada.
Jai Satchidanand.
My question was that we don't talk with any disliking people, then we can say that we can't do Sambhava Nikal. What is result?
You said you don't deal with the disliking people,
Yes.
and
And
I'm unable to settle the file amicably.
yes.
So
Then
never mind. See, it's like if you can fight in a situation, you will definitely get into the fight and put the person down. But when you cannot do it, then you find excuses. You don't try to deal with the person, and you feel that, oh, I'm not able to do anything. But inside, you know the fact, because that inside light of knowledge knows the whole situation as it is.
yes.
So never mind if Vidhi is not doing anything rightly or doing it in her own way, not trying to deal with the person whom she doesn't like and say that, oh, I'm not able to settle the file. That's a different story, but you know the fact, you know the true story. And correct Vidhi, or rather help correct Vidhi the most best way, the best way. Do you understand?
Yes.
She may try to run away, but you will tell her what is the point in running away. If you are trying to run away now, he or she is you are going to face that person tomorrow. So if you have got this opportunity today, the nature has given you that opportunity to settle the file, you face the file. So there is nothing wrong. If you cannot handle the file, try to run away from the file, try to stay away from the file. But eventually that time and that inner strength will grow wherein you will not run away, you will face the file because you want to finish and settle with the file.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
That is going to happen. So it's like if you are not strong enough, don't try to fight the fire. Jump out, run away. You understand? You can build another house. But if you try to fight the fire when you're not capable of doing it, you'll burn yourself. We don't want to do that. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but Deepakanandji, is it possible that the disliking can be turned into liking?
Sorry, come again?
Disliking can be turned into liking, so the problem doesn't occur?
Yeah, but then that takes time.
No, I know, but process.
Yes, true, very true. So it's like if, say, Vidhi, I just don't like her. Then I'll say, oh, Vidhi is so good. She does so good in the school. She does so good in the satsang. What is your problem in life? Why you don't like her? Do you understand?
Yes.
So you are not manipulating, you are dealing with your own mind and trying to convince yourself that try to see so many other things which is good at.
Right.
Why are you seeing this only little thing and making the opinion that she's useless, she's bad? Do you understand? So if we analyze, then you will see that nobody is 100% bad or 100% wrong.
Right.
Certain aspect is there and we get stuck into it and we say, that's it.
Yes.
So that's why Dada said, after all, he's a good person. So apart from his, the relative part is bad, the worldly part is bad, but the divine part inside, that soul, is absolute. The same one which is there within me. And that's who I am, that's who the other person is. So when I understand that, then all these effects, they nullify, they get balanced out. Then they don't drag you away. That's the thing.
Right.
So it's a process, but you have to pass through that process.
Okay. We apply this science like she is a good person. She is a good person. That's why our mentality will be changed.
Change. Will change. Yes, it will change. It has become negative because you have continuously projected the same thing. Kushi is bad, Kushi is bad, Kushi is not listening to me, Kushi is always like that. So that belief gets stuck in your mind.
Right.
But now you do it opposite way. Oh, she's very nice, she's doing this, she's doing that, and all that. So when you see the positive part, the negative part will balance out.
Right.
That's how we have to balance our opinion against anyone. And especially close relations, opinions are very strong. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
We have 5 minutes, Nimesh bhai.
Jai Satchidanand, but you answered my question, Deepakanandji, but I'll ask anyways. So my it's just quickly when I forgot. I'm having if we have like and dislike and file comes and we talk about resolve file amicably. Now, does that mean that we are sacrificing ourselves to resolve that file so that they become happy? Is that?
It's not only sacrificing, because that especially the negative or disliking type of relations, you don't want to deal with them. But then that account is there which makes you deal with them. You come into the interactions. You cannot avoid them. Do you understand?
You understand?
Yeah, partially I understand. Yeah.
What I'm saying, I just take a case. Don't take it otherwise.
Okay.
So between your two daughters, Krupa is fine, but Nishta is best. I'm just giving an example. I'm saying don't take it otherwise.
Okay.
So
yeah.
if something comes from Nishta, no problem. Everything is fine. But if something comes from Krupa, and being father, you're going to interact with Krupa anyway, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Your dealing with Krupa is always with some friction here and there. So whenever Krupa comes, hey dad, then immediately your antennas are always alert. Say, oh Dada, file has come. Please help me handle this file amicably. You understand?
Yes.
Because
yes.
anything that she says, because of that connectivity is negative, the account is negative, even something good she says, your mind take it negative. You understand? But here,
yes.
we go against that effect and we say, I want to settle this file in an amicable way. So your first dealing with the negative part with Krupa gets settled out. Because when Krupa comes, you will always be very alert. File has come. But when Nishta comes, she's not considered as file because she's lacking time. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But gradually you will understand that she's also file.
Yes.
And when that happens, although it is difficult, but you will be able to handle her also in a balanced way.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the process. Liking type or disliking type, in both the cases, you have to learn to deal in a balanced way. That is amicable way. What the net outcome is zero. After the dealing, the relation balances out. No net account or no net balance. Balance is zero.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, our time is up. So, Deepakanandji, can you please do Nimesh bhai, can you repeat?
Yes, Jai Satchidanand.
Namo Vitragai,
Namo Vitragai,
Namo Varihantanam,
Namo Arihantanam,
Namo Siddhanam,
Namo Siddhanam,
Namo Ayariyanam,
Namo Ayariyanam,
Namo Vajjayanam,
Namo Vasayanam,
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam,
Namo Loe Sawa Sahunam,
Eso Panchanamukaro,
Eso Panchanamukaro,
Savapava Panasano,
Sawapavapanasano,
Mangalanam cha Sauvesim,
Mangalanam cha Sovesim,
Padamam Havai Mangalam,
Padamam Have Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya,
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.